Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And I got a smartwatch and a smartphone, so I thought maybe I'd get a Smartknife. See how that worked out. It's got all these features you can see listed here. Seems to do about everything. Lifetime warranty, limited. And it's probably, you know, kind of in the same tool space as maybe a Leatherman or something like that, except it's only about 25 bucks. This is the second one of these. I guess they had an earlier version. I don't know. I saw some things online about the earlier version. But anyway, this is the Smartknife by True Utility. That's the brand. But anyway, I took this thing for a spin just to see a few thoughts. One, for 25 bucks, you really can't make an amazing, Smartknife, utility knife. If you look at this, you can see this is literally, that arc there, I think literally is the curvature of the grinding wheel. For some reason, they ground this down. I don't know why. Maybe for looks. It has a kind of a fairly sharp blade, but this is not the most useful. The way they've got that, especially with that really sharp tip. Supposed to be a flipper. That's about as much as you can flip it, even if you try. And you could loosen it, but there's already some play. Let's see if you can see that. See that wiggling back and forth? So I don't want to loosen it anymore. It looks like they do have a nylon washer in there, little white washer. So I wouldn't want that. Wouldn't want to introduce any more play. Plus, I've noticed I can get this actually wedged over, this liner lock, so far that I can't push it out of the way sometimes. So I've had to actually go in with a screwdriver and twist it. I'll show you that a little bit better. And go in and so it gets wedged. You hear that little click. It's so far over that I can't push it free with my finger, so I have to pry it free. To be able to open and close this thing. But let's look at some of the features. One of the interesting ones is it has a bit driver. It's a magnetic bit driver. So it comes with one bit right here, which you might be able to get out easily. If not, you'll need pliers. Drops right in there. But unfortunately, this is a tremendous lever right here. So I can just move this thing back and forth, this bit, and actually move the knife blade. That is, like, as far as I can tell, one of the worst ideas, because you've added a prying force right at the weakness of the pivot. So if you go in to start screwing something like that, you're actually applying a lot of pressure exactly where it doesn't belong. And this already has quite a bit of play in it. So I assume pretty soon this is going to start slipping or bend the mechanism. The other thing I noticed when I was using it, which is actually really good, is that's fairly centered. And a lot of times with the screwdriver, you want everything centered. Leatherman's, on the other hand, if you are using their screwdriver, let me see, where is it on this guy? There it is. So let me pull that out. So here's their bit driver. So if I use it, with it open, it's way off to the side. Sometimes you use them like that for extended reach, or if I close it, it's off center. So you've got this kind of a big wobble. This, on the other hand, is straight, so that's a plus. It does actually allow you, to spin this thing without a lot of concern about lateral motion. But anyway, and then of course the bit is just barely held in there. And if I add a little bit of extra force, you can see. You can see the spread right there, maybe. So I don't think this is going to last very long. Bottle opener, ruler. It does have some capabilities for working with bolts. I grabbed a couple and dropped them in, and yeah, this would hold it. Although these are metric, these are not. And they still grab, but you can see you're getting kind of a little bit of a lever right down in there. So you start twisting on it, and it's going to stress the frame, but I'm not too worried about that there. A little bit of slop. This one, I believe, you can see it should be a 10, and it almost fits. But anyway, this is a wire stripper set here. As far as I can tell, the way this works, the only way I've gotten it to work is to put the wire in here, and then you close the blade down and pull it across the blade, which is not the best to do to a blade like that, but oh well, gets it done. Here's a file, the ruler there, belt clip. This thing here, this bit driver, it looks like it should be a natural place also for a maybe a cord cutter or something, but doesn't get anywhere near the blade. Seems like it would have been a good use for that. When I first got this, I could not get this thing out without pliers. And lastly, it's got this pry bar. This is a very small piece of metal because it has to have room for the blade inside there. And they put a pry bar on the very end. Two small screws hold this thing in, you know, from each side. But what happens is if you apply some pressure or some force to this thing, I can hear it kind of cracking a little bit. But I'm worried I'm going to spread the back of this. It just doesn't seem like there's enough metal in there. But anyway, it is marketed as a Smartknife. Kind of fun to play with stuff like this. And it also kind of educates me on where there can be sort of engineering failures. The more I use this thing, the more it seems to loosen up. This whole thing here with the liner lock snapping over kind of surprised me. I mean, I literally... There, I got it. Ouch. But I was able to... I still can't close it. But anyway, Smartknife. I don't know who you'd give these to or why you'd get one yourself. Be a little careful. Get real tools for real jobs. Don't try to make everything fit together into a inexpensive tool. Get yourself hurt. And with that, Doc out.